What we're going to show you today is how to install a multi-point door handle in one of our Fenstür doors. So the spacing for the handle hole and the key cylinder is a standard spacing. What's not standard is the thickness of our doors. So what we do is we can buy, or you can buy, a standard multi-point handle. Now there's a multiple number of standards for the spacing between the key cylinder and the handle hole. So you need to make sure you're just buying the right configuration, they call it, for our doors and locks. So when you buy the right configuration, your handle comes in a box, and with it comes things like screws and spindles and a key cylinder that goes through the thickness of a normal door. So we take out all of those parts that go through the thickness of the door. So essentially we're just left with the actual plates that go on the face of the door, and then everything going through the door we supplement with the right lengths of parts for the thicknesses of our doors. So when you receive your door, it won't have these two holes in it. Those are the holes for the screws for this specific handle. So every handle, the mounting screws here and here, which go through the door, are going to be in different places. So we don't pre-drill those because it totally depends on the exact handle. But again, the handle hole and the keyhole is a set distance apart. So for example, the screws that come in the box for this handle are quite short. They're about that long. So we get rid of those and we replace them with a long enough screw to go through the thickness of the door. Same thing with the spindle. So the spindle is what you're actually turning when you turn the handle. We get rid of the short one that comes in the box and we replace it with one that's long enough for our doors to be thick. That doesn't make sense at all. And then same thing, we got the key cylinder. So this is the key cylinder that we supply, which is sized for our door. You know, a normal North American door is about 1 3/4 inches thick, which is going to be like that long. So we got these big heavy duty guys for our doors. So Rich is going to show you the process of how to actually mount your handle. So the first step for installing the door handle is we install the key cylinder first. So the key cylinder slides into the door, and then there's a screw hole here on the side, which you install. Just take it out for a sec. That goes into that hole there, and that holds the key cylinder in the proper position in the door, and it also makes it so it can't get pulled out. Okay, now the next step, now that we've got the key cylinder in there, is we put one of the handle plates on the door and we line it up nice and straight. And then you can use something, you can either use, you know, a pen or even just take a screw, put it through the hole, and then give it a tap. So you're marking where that screw should be on the wood. Because remember, these holes that we've already drilled aren't going to be there. So the next step is we're drilling these holes in. So once we've marked where those screws should be, we drill through the door. We start with a 1/4 inch drill bit, and then we actually work it up to a 3/8 drill bit. And there's two reasons for that. One is if anything is misaligned, it gives us a little bit of play to be able to move the screw around to get into the handle on the other side. And then the other reason is by stepping it up slowly, we minimize the amount of chipping out of the holes and any damage. You know, anything that happens, as long as it stays behind the handle, it won't be seen. But if you went too fast and too big, you could make something chip out that's not going to be covered up by the handle in the end. So once your handle screws are drilled out, you can go ahead and remove the cylinder again. And the reason we remove it is because you can't slip the handle over that thumb turn knob on the inside. You could remove it with that Allen key if you wanted to, but it's easier just to pop it out of the door and then put your handle plates on and then slip this back through. This handle specifically has this foam gasket that it comes with. You can see for this specific door, the length of the screws that we are using are equal to the thickness of the door plus the thickness of this plate minus the thickness of this plate, because these studs actually extend down into the door. Oh, now this is a spindle. This is what you're turning when you turn the handle. So again, just like the screws, the length of this spindle, because if we don't install your handle, we supply these extra long. So the length of this spindle is going to be the thickness of the door, plus whatever distance it goes into this handle, plus whatever distance it actually installs into that handle. In this case, it was 20 millimeters into here and into here. So the length of that spindle was the thickness of the door plus 20 millimeters plus 20 millimeters, or 40 millimeters overall. Then the screws get put on. Here's the other one. There you go. And that's it. Now when we ship the doors, we don't install the actual handle because it sticks out. It's something that can be damaged in shipping. But when this gets to the project site, the handles can just be popped on, and then there's a small set screw that can usually just be tightened to attach the handle. Key cylinder back in. Come up a little bit.
I don't know the name. I didn't know.
That's it. Put the handle on just for show.